Hi everyone! I almost forgot. Matey Games gave me Isle of Monsters in exchange for an honest review. Now, on to the review. In Isle of Monsters, you're trying to keep outsiders off your island. You'll be catching and feeding little monsters, growing them into fearsome ones. Afterwards, have them face off against other monsters in a battle to be the island protector. It's much easier than it sounds. Let me show you. Setup is simple. Hand out a cage board to everyone, put the center island in the middle, and put the outer islands between all players. Shuffle the creature cards. You'll remove some when playing with 2 and 3. Depending on player count, put a number of creature cards on the outer islands, then flip them face up so players see the monster. Mix up all the food tokens in the bag. Put out randomized tokens equal to the number of players on the center board. Repeat between rounds. Put 2 food tokens on each outer island. Repeat between rounds. In other words, depending on how things go, you could have a little or a lot of food available. In the nurture phase, you can capture a monster, feed, or pass. If you capture, you must have an open spot on your cage board. Take the top creature card from the left or right island. If you feed, take 1 food token from the center, left, or right island and place it on the matching space on the creature card. If you feed, you must have an open feeding space. The first person to pass becomes the next starting player. In the mature phase, remove fully fed monsters from their cages and dump the food back into the bag. These mature monsters will form the deck for the scare phase. In the scare phase, secretly draw 1 or more creature cards of a single type from your scare deck: blue water, brown earth, and yellow fire. Reveal and give a 3-point scare token to the player with the highest total scare value. If there's a tie, players take 1-point tokens. Now, compare monster types with the players to your left and right. Earth scares water, water scares fire, fire scares earth. Take 1-point tokens for every successful scare. Slide the played cards to the side and repeat this until only 1 player's cards left. They get a 1-point token for each remaining card. If players run out of cards at the same time, replenish the board and start the next nurture phase. Once the last creature card has been dealt, the final round begins. After the scare phase, add your points. The player with the most wins. Draft monsters and food tokens. Block your opponent from getting what they need and play the right cards at the right time to scare everyone else's. That's Isle of Monsters. Isle of Monsters can probably fit on a coffee table with 2 or 3 players, but a dining room table will be best with 4 or more players. If a player knows numbers 1 through 10 and can tell the difference between blue, brown, pink, and yellow, they can play this. Some 6-year-olds, maybe younger, and most 7-year-olds should be okay. This is a weeknight game. Including setup and takedown, it will usually take around 40 minutes. We introduced our friend Ariel to Isle of Monsters in a 5-player game. Mom played well and was a bit lucky in that her weak monsters still managed points thanks to their types. She crushed us with 27 points. So why am I telling you this? The rest of us were only separated by 5 points. Close games can be a lot of fun. Another fun thing about that play, a few of us had larger piles of scare tokens. We didn't realize Mom had the most points until the very end. Art doesn't make or break a game, but would this one be as appealing without the adorable art? Probably not. It is so cute. The island boards are clever. The game expands with more players, changing the available amounts and how scare tokens are awarded. Choices aren't easy, but there are only a couple. Collect food or a monster, or play this card or that card. This makes turns and rounds go really quickly, which is perfect in a gateway, or a game that introduces people to modern games. I like resource scarcity in games. I need pink food, and you're across from me surrounded by pink, yet still take the only one in the middle? Ugh, but still fun. I also like card drafting, set collection, and push your luck. Isle of Monsters has a handful of mechanisms, but it doesn't feel overwhelming for non-gamers like Grandma. think I like playing with 4 and 5 more because you have limited choices in food, monsters, and people to scare. Although with 3, everyone can scare each other, which makes more sense in terms of the theme. Why would the island protector be a monster that has never gone up against one on the far side of the island? Anyhow, the 2-player game is also good because timing, picking, and/or passing is very important. Making a wrong decision here can really change the game. A scare phase is most boring with 2, for obvious reasons. Isle of Monsters is a quick and light game with a bit of luck and quite simple gameplay. If you only play complicated Euro and war games, and maybe even most American-style games, skip this one. If you don't know what any of those types of games are, Isle of Monsters could be a good fit for you. This is a charming game that isn't too much for newer, younger gamers, but provides some should I or shouldn't I moments that are fun for experienced gamers too.